Hey, tribe, we are back. We're going live here. I'll give a couple seconds. I'm just checking the phone here. We're getting ready to go live, continue our book review on You². We are on chapter 8, I believe. And chapter 8 is what's chapter 8? I had it written down. Suspend Disbelief. And as you know, if you've been carrying on, the thing with You², how Pritchett put this book together, and if you want this book, this is an excellent book to put into your personal development library that you come back from time to time and read. It's a very simple read. But so you can grab this book on Amazon. And of course, I mean, I don't get anything out of it. So, it's just something that to help you, what I mean, help you in life. That's bottom line. But remember, Pritchett, we're kind of getting into the meat and potatoes of the book. But each chapter, it's only one page, but he's really carrying each chapter. Each chapter kind of overlaps the thought of the last chapter, if that makes any sense. So lots of times, one chapter will kind of just end abruptly, then then the thought is continued to the next chapter. So what I was thinking is once we're done with the book, is I might go live and we'll do the whole book in one live stream. I won't read the entire book to you, of course, but we'll basically go by chapter and pull out just a brief summary what the chapter is about, because it really connects. He's really connecting. It's not like separate thoughts per chapter. That's what kind of makes it makes it good in one way if you're reading it just straight. But doing a live stream, sometimes the chapter just ends because it starts a new thought in the next chapter. But anyway, we are on Suspend Disbelief. And remember, yesterday was Sunday. Today's Monday for me. So yesterday I took off. But remember, a couple days ago, our last chapter we covered was Think Beyond What Common Sense Would Allow. Okay, remember, if you want to be that most successful version of you, your thoughts, how you carry yourself right now, your thoughts, your decisions you make right now is not going to get you to your dream life. You have to make different decisions. You have to carry yourself different. You have to think differently. You have to think out of the box. Okay. But lots of times what happens when we think out of the box, it's scary. You know what? That's the only way I can put it. It's scary. And sometimes when you share things with other friends, they think you're crazy. They're like, just do what you normally do. But if you want your dream life, you want to live your life on your terms. Well, when you want to be that most successful version of you, you have to understand that most successful version of you is doing things differently than what you're doing right now today. But the key is, remember, I'm going to kind of go off on a tangent here, but I feel like talking about it. Let's say never God or the law of assumption. Okay, what's the law of assumption mean? The law of assumption means what you assume to be true for you has to come into your reality. That's the simple form of law of assumption. That's what Neville Galder was trying to teach. Whatever you assume to be true has to come into your reality. Okay. But this is a twofold law. Remember, okay, this is good or bad. This is positive or negative. It works both ways. Whatever you assume to be true, good or bad, has to come into your reality. Okay, my friends? So I've been studying a lot of Evergallo lately, so it's on the back of my mind. Just wanted to share that before we kind of get into this book here, get into this chapter. But that's kind of the basics of it here. So let's kind of continue on. And of course, always put in a chat, like if something happens, you can't hear me. Something happened, the screen is black. So let me know. But anyway, think beyond what this is what we did last time. This is a chapter we're on today. Suspend disbelief. Act as if your success is for certain. Actually, I didn't even proofread this before. So this aligns exactly to what I was saying with the law of assumption. Let me put my glasses on. Listen, act as if your success is certain. Okay. Meaning what you say has to happen to you. Okay. If you want to be, It doesn't matter. If you want your dream job, boom, it can happen. Okay. Act as if your success is certain. Instead of holding back because you don't have hard proof that you can make a quantum leap, see if you end up with evidence proving you can't. Just make the jump. Act as if your success is guaranteed, and then see which set of ideas you should believe in. I love that. Let me read that one more time for you. Just make the jump. Make sense? If you want to be an entrepreneur, just do it. Just make the jump. And when you make the jump and do it, listen, act as if your success is guaranteed. Act as if you can't fail. Anything you do in life, act as if you can't fail. Okay? Because really you can't. Okay? Failure is not really a failure because listen to this. Everything happens for us. Okay? It doesn't happen to you. Everything happens for you. Okay, you understand that. So again, I'm gonna repeat this one more time, then we'll kind of move on here. Okay. Whatever you want to do, now I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but whatever you want to do in life, listen, just make the jump, just make the leap, just do it. And act as if your success is guaranteed. Act as if you can't fail, baby. Okay. If you put that mindset in, you kind of be amazed of your results you get in life. If you just went with your life, acting as if you can't fail, acting as if whatever you put your mind to, okay, you're gonna have success out of it. Just think about it here for a second. You probably will get tremendous results. And even if you want to debate with me, even if you sit there and say, "Well, Chad, bad things happen." Yes, bad things happen. Okay, I've had bad things happen to me, baby. Dude, I've lost my life savings probably 2 or 3 times. You know what I mean? Either being in relationships, getting divorced, losing assets, whatever. But it happened. You have to understand, one, it's our perception of things. Okay. It's just your perception if it's bad or good. Okay. That's one. Then two is it's happening for me. There's a learning experience through it to take me to the next level. If you start changing your mind a little bit, how you perceive negative issues, they're not so negative. You understand? Just like if I walk outside, I look nice and dazzy and beautiful to go to work, and I walk outside and I now walk into my car, and my back tire is flat of flat. There is no flat. There is no flatter to get. It's so flat. You're thinking, oh my God, it ruined the rim of my flipping car. You know what I'm saying? Is that, in that circumstance, does your mind go wild? You understand? Do you go down the rabbit hole of Negativeville? Or do you just say, hey, okay, it happened. It kept me safe, kept me off the freeway. I'm meant to be home right now at this moment. And you just call work and say what happened. You get your tire fixed. Okay. That's bottom line. But let's continue because I'm getting off on a tangent. And let me give you a quote here by Pritchett. If you must doubt something, doubt your limits. Isn't that great to say? Listen, if you must doubt something, doubt your limits. Okay, there are no limits. Listen, the limits are in your mind. The level of success you can achieve, it's only in your mind. You understand that? Okay. So, look at it this way. We put our limits on stuff. Okay. Let me take a sip of water here because I'm super thirsty. Plus, usually I drink 1 coffee in the morning, but I drank 2 today. On top of it, I drink black coffee. So I didn't drink any water. So let's continue. Now we're continuing on with this giant paragraph, and that's it. So suspend disbelief. Sorry about that. Let me get this notification off of here by Alex and Mosey. Let me get this out of the way here. Okay, now let's kind of get into the meat and potatoes of suspend disbelief. Even though I gave you a lot to chew on, listen, your mindset for the moment may be flawed by doubt and being skeptical. The idea of making a quantum leap in your performance, jumping from one present level of achievement to one several stages higher in one bold stroke, is an alien idea. This is what you two or you squared is all about. Okay, you're not going from step one to step two. You're moving from step one to step five. You're moving from step five to step 15. Okay, you're jumping several steps. This is why it's called U squared. This is why Price Pritchett is saying you got to think illogical. You got to stop thinking with common sense. You got to have like uncommon sense. You know what I mean? When you start thinking about success and what you want to do. I'll reread it one more time. Remember, your mindset for the moment right now may be flawed. It may be flawed by worry, doubt, and fear. You might be skeptical to kind of do things because you overthink and over analytical. This is something I know a lot about because that's just how I am. Okay, that works great in business, but sometimes in manifesting, it doesn't work so great. You constantly overanalyze. You're constantly in your head. You're constantly overthinking. Okay, it stops you. Okay. The idea of making a quantum leap in performance, listen, this is the key I want you to walk away with. Jumping from your present level of achievement to one several stages higher in one bold stroke is an alien idea. You haven't been trained to think that way. You may have definite reservations about the possibility that you can make such exponential improvement at all, particularly with less effort in a very abbreviated time frame. Okay. That's what he's saying. Okay, let's say like you're struggling. Let's say this. This is what Price Pritchett is saying. Let's kind of try to put this in a practical sense. Okay. And I'll try to give you several examples if I don't have a brain fart here being on live stream. Okay. Let's say you're an entrepreneur. Okay. You're living month to month, but you're busting it, baby. You're trying to figure this stuff out. Okay. And you're busting it month after month after month. It's been 6 months. It's been 8 months. It's been a year. Now you're rolling into 2 year mark and you're pretty much, okay, you're doing what you want to do, but you're living month to month, baby. Okay. What Price Pritchett is saying is you got to believe you're living month to month to month to month. And all of a sudden, and one day, in 1 week, your life changes upside down. You went from basically living month to month to making $100,000 a month because your business just took off. See, that's you squared. That's you thinking out of the box. And that's exactly what can happen. You have to understand this. Listen, most of this is science backed, okay? Because this is exactly how your subconscious mind works. Your subconscious mind thinks black and white. It's not trying to figure out what's best for you, baby. Okay. It's just giving you what you give it. Okay. If you're giving it riches, I'm wealthy, I'm rich, I'm the first millionaire in my family. Okay. Once it grabs hold of it, it's going to make it happen in your life. And once it takes it as true, once it believes it as true, it's going to come into your life rather quickly. And it's going to seem like your life was shifted upside down. It's going to seem like you just came out of nowhere. Okay. If you're an entrepreneur, you get me? It's the same idea if you're not an entrepreneur, if you want your dream house. Okay. Right now, you could be living in an apartment, a beat up apartment. The cheapest apartment is in your neighborhood you're living in. You can go from living in your apartment to living in your dream house. Actually living in your dream house, not going from an apartment to a better apartment to a better apartment to a condo to a fixer-upper house to a middle grade house. Then you see what we end up doing. We take 15 steps before we get there, but you can go exactly from living in an apartment to your dream house. Okay. You can go exactly from the car you have right now to driving your dream car. You just have to believe it. Okay. You got to stop doubting yourself. And on top of it, you got to stop hanging around people that doubt you. Okay. You got to stop, maybe you don't stop hanging around them. Maybe it's family, best friends, or whatever. But what you got to do, you got to stop sharing certain things with them. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay. Where was I? Let's continue. The experts genuinely agree, though, that people typically use only about 10% of their true potential. This is actually true. Okay, people, like most of the time, we only can use about 10% of our brain. Makes sense. I mean, we are actually a super powerful being, and we only use about 10%. Okay, this is also scientifically proven. Okay, if you want to do your research, you won't believe me. That's okay. Okay, but listen, the experts generally agree, though, that people typically use only about 10% of their true potential. If we accept that argument, and even if there were no other resources outside yourself that could bring to bear on the situation, you still could do 10 times as well as you've been doing. Listen to that. Even if this is what Price Pritchett is saying, even if it is true, we only can tap into about 10% of our brain, 10% of our power. But even if we can only tap into 10% of our power that we have, we can still do 10 times more than what we're doing right now. What does that mean? Listen to this. Okay. What if this is true? What if what you're making right now, what if tomorrow you 10 times that? Whatever it is, you make it, you know what I mean? You're making $50,000 a year. Let's say you can make 10 times that. You can make 500,000. Okay. You do the math. Whatever you're making right now. What if tomorrow, next week, you can make 10 times? Because that can happen if you only believe it can. You're skeptical, which you presume is based on rational thinking and objective assessment of factual data about yourself, is rooted in your mental junk. So, what does he mean by this? He's kind of using some big words here, and what I mean. He's writing very sophisticated, which is fine. You know what I mean. But just to have you understand what he said, let me repeat this, and I'll kind of explain it. You're skeptical, which you presume is based on your rational thinking, okay, your conscious mind, your rational mind, okay, you're trying to figure out what's best for you, and an objective assessment of factual data about yourself. What's an objective assessment? That's your visible world from your five senses: see, hear, smell, taste, touch. It's pretty much, if you're assessing what's around you. Okay, well, Chad's telling me I got 10 times my output, but I don't see it. Chad's telling me I can have my dream car, but when I look outside in my parking lot, baby, I don't see my dream car sitting out there. That's an objective assessment. Okay. You're assessing your life through what you can visibly see. Listen, your doubts are not the product of accurate thinking. Listen, I'll say it one more time. It's so powerful. Your doubts are not the product of accurate thinking, but habitual thinking. Years ago, you accepted flawed conclusions as correct. Isn't it true? No matter if we were a kid, a teenager, we're just younger. Listen, years ago, you accepted flawed conclusions as correct, began to live your life as if those warped ideas about your potential were true, and seized the bold experiment in living that brought you many breakthrough behaviors as a child. Now it's time for you to find that faith, find that belief you had in yourself before. Okay. If you want to be skeptical on some ideas that truly deserve to be called into question, challenge the thoughts and beliefs that have argued against your taking a quantum leap. What he's saying is, why do you think you can't two times your life? Why do you think you can't do 10 times more than what you're doing right now? Why do you think that way? That's what he's saying. That's what you should question, is where does those beliefs come from that you can't you squared your life, that you can't double your life right now. You can't quadruple it. You can't move from step 1 to step 5 right now overnight. Okay? You can't double your income overnight. You can't triple your income overnight. You can't quadruple your income overnight. Okay? That what he's saying is, that's the skepticism that you should be focused on. Okay? Let me move on here. For right now, just suspend disbelief. You don't have to be convinced that you can succeed in making a quantum leap, but don't keep on believing those old ideas you've been carrying around about your personal limits. Make sense? If it will make it easier, hold off for a while on believing anything. And this is where he kind of explains his quote, like from in the very beginning, because he kind of separates it. His quote is, just act like you have complete faith. Merely do what you do if you knew you were going to succeed. Behave like you have that total conviction. Okay. It's almost like what Never Goddard says in a law of assumption. Okay. As you believe to be true, whatever you believe to be true for you has to be shown into your reality. Okay. Or living in the end. Living in the end is you basically act as if you already have what you want. You act as if you're already living the life that you already want. See, that's how you speed up manifestation. Is you be it right now. That's the power you have. That's source power, baby. If you believe you're a spiritual being, that's source power. That's how you speed it up. Is what's going on right now with you? Okay. Either your limited beliefs, if you think you can do it, or you can't. Okay. It's being shown to you in your 3D world. Listen, doubt is what does the most damage. I'll say it one more time. Worry, doubt, and fear is what causes the most damage. So don't give it any mental space. Proceed boldly as if it is completely inconceivable that you will experience anything other than a successful quantum leap. If you must doubt something, doubt your limits. And that's the end of the chapter. Now, the next chapter, we're not going to do it right now, but the next chapter is focused on the end rather than the means. Okay. Now, this is probably going to go a lot along with acting as if, living in the end by Neville Goddard, but I won't get into that because I've been talking like that a lot about right now. But let me repeat that one more time for you. Listen, if you must doubt something, okay, doubt your limits, because we're the ones that put limits on everything. We're the ones that put a limit on what we can achieve. We're the ones that do it. Okay. You have to understand that listen, the power, all the power is inside you. All the answers are inside of you. Okay. If you're looking for an answer, what you should do in your life, it's within you. It's not outside of you. It's within you. Okay. Ask it within, ask it, then you let it go. Okay. You stop thinking about it and you're waiting for that intuition. You're waiting for that gut feeling to answer you. Okay. Stop going outside of yourself. Stop searching for it outside of yourself. Okay. It's within you. Stop going to 15 of your friends and asking them 15 times what they would do. Then you go to your family and ask them what they would do. Then you go to your brother or sister and ask them what they would do. And you got 25 different opinions upon what that person would do. Okay. That's what causes confusion, my friends. That's why you get confused, because you're going outside of yourself. You're not coming within and just staying in the presence. Okay. And being confident in yourself that you can figure it out. And listen, I've done this stuff over and over. I know what I'm talking about when I talk about this stuff, because I've done it. Is you just have to ask it and let it go, and 100% the answer will come to you. You just have to trust it and trust yourself to follow through with that intuition nudge to actually what to do. Okay, my friends? But other than that, that's the end of the chapter. And it seemed like the internet was going pretty good today. I was having trouble with it the last couple days. I was kind of flashing it on and off. And sometimes when it does that, sometimes it cuts the live stream. And when it cuts it, like, I don't know it's been cut. I'm still sitting here thinking I'm live. And I'm not. So today it seemed like it was doing pretty well. So I'm grateful for that. But anyway, again, tribe, is I'm going to try my best to go live every day. So even once we finish this book, and time to time, before we bounce back into this book, we did a manifesting challenge, a writing challenge for the last 5 days. So I would always recommend that. I do that from time to time. And remember, even with writing challenges, every time I've done a writing challenge, it has come true in my life. Every single time. I'm not lying about that. I'm not making that stuff up. Okay. And sometimes it's been broad things, like a broad affirmation I've written down. Sometimes it's been very, very specific. But every time I've done writing challenges, journaling challenges, if I could talk, challenges, 3 days or 5 days, it's always come true. But it comes true. Listen to this. It comes true when you let it go and you let it be. You don't search for it. Okay. You just did it. Like I said, like my writing, my book is right here, my writing challenge. Once I'm done, I close this baby and put it away. You know, I'm not revisiting it. I'm not re-looking at it. You know what I mean? Because it helps me to kind of let it go. That's why I kind of put it away so I don't see it. Because if I see it, it triggers my mind. Okay, now I start thinking about it. Then I start looking outside and looking for it. Okay, tribe. But anyway, I'm gonna go. It's been about a half hour, and I'll see you tomorrow sometime. Again, I'm in Thailand, so I know these hours are kind of weird, but I kind of let it stop me for a long time about not going live, because for me to really go live, like in the United States at a good time, it's pretty much in the middle of the night for me. So unless there's a kind of a fluke day that I just can't sleep, maybe I'll go live where everybody's awake and not in bed or not having dinner, not settling it down at night and spending time with family or something like that. But anyway, I am going to go live way more. Then when I'm in the States, I'm going to continue to go live, and that you'll kind of see me during more appropriate times. But again, like I said, I can't let it stop me. Okay. I can't let my time zone that I'm in stop me. And just right now, Thailand is a really, really weird time zone for kind of the rest of the world. just to be frank about it. But anyway, blessings to you. Remember, I love you guys. Always, if you have questions, always comment. Even if it's on the live stream, float over a comment. I'm on my desktop right now, so it's easy for me to see stuff. I'm not on my phone where I have to like stare at it so close. The desktop I really love the desktop just because I can see everything and set everything up proper. But anyway, shoot the comments, and I try my best to answer every comment to help you guys out. Other than that, peace out. Remember, I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow on the next live stream. Plus, I'll see you in the other videos on YouTube, of course. But anyway, peace out, and I'll see you later.